Hey everybody, Andrew here with Nashville Severe Weather. We got a severe thunderstorm warning that is for Davidson County, and that is going to impact downtown. So it looks like in northwestern Davidson County we have a microburst that's getting going, and let me mention that and let me show that to you here real quick. And then we'll jump over and talk about downtown. So right here, it looks like we have a microburst event, and I'm not going to go into all the details because I want to talk about the impacts here in just a little bit, so I won't get in the weeds here, but it looks like we have a microburst event happening in northwestern Davidson County. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for most of Davidson County. That it does include downtown Nashville, and so let's go and talk about that. So it looks like this storm is going to impact Nissan Stadium and those of you outside downtown. So if you're outside downtown right now, you need to get into cover. So we've heard that Nissan Stadium is being sheltered, so folks there are getting inside. That's good. You don't want to be outside in this as it comes through. And let me show you this. There is a ton of lightning. And so I don't know if you can see this as I'm zooming in here, but each one of these dots, and I know this may be hard to see on your screen, but all of these dots here are cloud to ground lightning strikes. So there is just a ton of lightning with this as it comes through. Okay, so we've been seeing a lot of lightning over on our Midtown camera. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up here, and I'm going to stay and look at radar off to the other screen here just a minute. But so Nissan Stadium is there just beyond the downtown buildings. We're looking from Midtown just to the east. So Midtown looking east over toward the river. So you've got the downtown buildings, Nissan Stadium's right over beyond that. So looks like the Weather Service is saying here that the storm in Davidson County has really strengthened actually in the past little bit. And so it's showing some signs of just being a very strong storm. So damaging winds possible with this as it comes through Davidson County. So let's go back over to radar just a minute. So if you are downtown, of course, you're right here. Here's Nissan Stadium here. Let me back up a little bit, and you can kind of see how this storm is diving to the southeast. All right, so downtown is within the yellow polygon here. That's the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 8:45. So once again, let me say this because I know we have a lot of people outside. If you're outside, you need to get in. There's just a ton of lightning with this. It's not safe to be outside. So whether you're in a stadium or not, you need to get indoors. So you need to follow the directives of the folks there. I know there's a sounds game going on, and hopefully that will be wrapping up here shortly if they haven't taken shelter inside the stadium yet. Hopefully they will soon. So let's go look at velocities here. Could be some strong velocities coming through northwestern Davidson County. They were talking about a potential microburst there, and that does look like a distinct possibility. But boy, there's just a ton of lightning. Let's go over here to the Midtown camera and let me walk you through this again. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect until, let's see, that's in effect until 8:45. And that's going to be for this storm that is currently in northwestern Davidson County. You're looking at the Midtown camera there. Obviously a lot of lightning there. And again, the stadium, we're looking east, so the stadium is there right behind those downtown buildings right there across the river. So this storm is not very far away, and you're certainly able to see quite a bit of lightning. All right, so I'm looking at here on radar over on another screen, and I can just tell you, it's just lit up with lightning. And the storm has a very good structure with it, and so it doesn't look like it's going to be dying anytime soon. It looks like it's going to be hanging around, and the thing looks very healthy. So that's why a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 8:45. All right, so David over on Twitter talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, penny-size hail, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, torrential rainfall, and that's all what's involved with this storm here. And he mentions it does include the Garth Brooks concert. So if you're anywhere downtown, you need to get inside a building, not be outside, and prepare for some strong winds, torrential downpours, and really just a ton of lightning. All right, let's go over to radar. You're looking there at the Midtown camera. Let's go back over here so I can give you an update on what's going on there. Again, everybody inside the yellow polygon here is inside that severe thunderstorm warning that expires at 8:45. And so pretty much everybody from Madison, Fontanelle, Beeman Park, it just came through there and had a ton of lightning with it there, all the way down to Bells Bend and over to Berry Hill and down into the Creve Hall area, Antioch. It includes Percy Priest Lake as well, if you know anybody out on the lake. It's getting dark, but if you know anybody out there, let them know they got a severe thunderstorm headed their way. Also includes Hermitage, Donaldson, Lakewood, and up to Madison. All right, so the heaviest lightning right now is right here beneath the heaviest core of the storm. That's right there between Fontanelle, Briley Parkway, areas like that up on the northwest side of town. But this thing's shooting lightning way out ahead of it. And again, I know you can't really see this, but it's showing lightning strikes around TSU and over there into the Metro Center and North Nashville community. And it's showing lightning strikes well outside of the rain, out ahead of the storm. And so this storm really is nothing to mess with. It's tossing some pretty strong lightning strikes way out ahead of it. Let's go back over to Midtown just for a minute, and because we're looking into downtown, we're looking east over there toward the stadium, and then of course on the left side of the screen, kind of near that tall building there on the left side is the park. So that's the baseball park there, Sound Stadium there on the left side. And we've seen as a backdrop to that stadium, lightning as well back behind it, but really lightning not that far away from the stadium there on the left side of the screen. So, severe thunderstorm warning. If you're just joining us, let me reiterate what to do here. We got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 8:45. This is for a severe thunderstorm coming through from northwest to southeast. Hopefully all of you are taking shelter that are outside. And the reason we're emphasizing that so much is we know we got some big events going on tonight. We got a lot of people outside. And so we need you to get inside and away from the lightning. Just find a way to get indoors. Follow the directives of the stadiums where you are. And be sure you're inside. You don't want to be outside in this one. Very, very electrical. All right, so as downtown gets dark, very quickly getting dark there in Midtown, looking to the east. And let's go back over and check in on radar just real quick. In fact, we're going to try to do let's do kind of a storm track on this. I'll tell you what, let's switch over to this radar, and let's zoom in, and let's kind of do a little storm track on it here over the next 30 minutes. And let's go about 24 miles per hour. And here's some ETAs. These are rough. All right, these are rough ETAs. Don't take these as gospel. Take them as sort of an estimate. Let me find a spot where we can see these. All right, downtown Nashville about 8:10. Obviously, it's there. Inglewood about 8:15 or so. Shelby Park about that same time. Berry Hill 8:20 or so. Donaldson about 8:22, and the Zoo about 8:25. B&A about 8:25. So it just gives you kind of an idea of where this thing's going. But the main story here is the lightning, and it's going to be way out ahead of the storm. Okay, so really the ETAs. Are not really, that's for the rain. The lightning's going to be out there ahead of it. All right. So here's radar again. Storm's getting awfully close to downtown. Not seeing any indication of rotation. I know you may be asking kind of about this hook or this appendage here on the storm. That is indicative of sort of supercell characteristics. The Weather Service is noting that same thing and continues to be an impressive storm on the radar aloft. And so high winds and hail are possible as it comes through Nashville, including downtown, the Weather Service says. So this looks like it's going to be a pretty gnarly storm as it comes through downtown. Heaviest part of the storm is now around Bordeaux and Haines and up around the Briley Parkway Loop. Well, really just inside that Briley Parkway Loop up there on the northwest side of town, approaching Metro Center just here in the next couple of minutes. And then heading down into downtown. So it could be some hail with it. Looking here at that view and seeing if there's any, looking at any hail. It doesn't look like anything real large with it, but definitely could be some hail in there as it moves to the southeast. I don't know. Could be some decent sized hail with it. Hey, let's talk about your reports real quick. We would like to see your reports. We're getting a lot of pictures here of lightning from the different venues. Man alive. And so I hope y'all are safe. Please don't be outside in this lightning. It's a mess, and it's dangerous. It's not good to be out. But thanks for your reports and the pictures that you're sending in. So how to send in reports. If you would tweet using hashtag TSpotter, if you see hail, if you see damaging winds, if you see something that would be considered severe, if you would let us know those reports. And if you would tweet your location and the picture, if you have one, if you've taken one safely. Tweet that to us and just use hashtag T-Spotter. Just tweet using hashtag T-Spotter, and we will get that and send that over to the Weather Service. All right, so you're looking at radar here. Let's go back over to the Midtown camera for just a second. We're looking here at radar, and I can kind of tell you what's going on off screen here. But the lightning is still a big story, as you just saw there on the Midtown camera. So, in fact, lightning actually struck very near this camera here just a little bit ago. So, it looks like the lightning is indeed jumping out way ahead of the storm, and especially to the south. All right, so just because it's not raining and you're south of the storm does not mean that you're out of the woods. So definitely lightning striking there to the south. David's tweeting over on Twitter that this storm, he actually just tweeted a 3D picture of this storm from some of the radar software that we use. And it's a very healthy storm. So the picture he's tweeting, I can just look at that and tell you that it's a very healthy storm just by the radar presentation and what he was just showing there on Twitter over at Nash Severe WX. He was showing a 3D image of that. I'm telling you, it's a very healthy storm. So as we're looking at here on the Midtown camera, you're seeing the lightning come into to downtown, and the worst of the storm looks to be right now around Bordeaux and Metro Center, North Nashville. All right, so that looks to be where the strongest of the rain is. All right, checking in on what the Weather Service says, checking in on man, what a lightning presentation there on the Midtown camera. So again, this is looking east, so you're looking right at downtown, and man, did you see that strike? Right there between the camera and downtown. So that was an impressive strike. So we're going to stay on this image, and I can see now rain. I can see the lights on the camera here from the ballpark there. And I can see the lights reflecting there in the rain. So it looks like the rain is arriving downtown. It's going to be at Nissan Stadium here in mere moments. All right, so it's about to get pretty nasty. So looking at radar over here, and still it looks like the majority of the lightning, man, look at that, coming into downtown. Just an incredible lightning display there. Severe thunderstorm warning continues until 8:45. Looked like the Tennessee Tower just got struck there. So a severe thunderstorm warning continues till 8:45, and this is for a storm that is clearly now entering downtown and is now approaching the venues where people are at the Nissan Stadium, and they're at the ballpark as well. So really just an incredible lightning show going on. It's very dangerous, so certainly hope people are inside. So severe thunderstorm warning continues until 8:45. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail, and so certainly possible to get some of the strong gusty winds. I'm going to check off screen here and see how the winds are doing, and not seeing anything crazy, but I am seeing some downbursts come out of this thing, and which is indicative that the storm is just dropping a lot of stuff, and it could be some strong winds, but I'm definitely seeing some downburst signatures there on TBNA off screen there. So again, you're watching Midtown. I'm watching the radar off to the side, and I tell you, let's go ahead and check in on the radar just for a second as we're watching. Man, just some crazy lightning there. Let's switch over to radar just a second. Strongest of the storm is right there near the ballpark, right there around the James Robertson Parkway loop. And just all these dots are lightning strikes, and these are hitting right in the downtown area. So hitting tall buildings, hitting stuff there around downtown. It's just, it's pretty gnarly. So back to the Midtown camera. We're going to watch this. And the Weather Service continues the severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. And again, this is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. So if you're downtown and you are at one of the venues outside, please stay in. Please stay inside. Stay in the concourses. Stay in anywhere that is sheltered from the weather. wherever they've directed you to go, and just stay out of this. So it is truly a dangerous storm if you're outside. Very, very electrical. And we may have just lost the camera there. Let's see if it comes back. So obviously brilliant lightning strike there. And there we go. Looks like the camera's back here. So looks like also we're going to watch a storm back to the west. There's a storm in Cheatham County. This is right behind the storm that's now in downtown. And so it's possible that we may have another warning that needs to come out because there's another storm right behind it. Let's jump over for just a second to radar, and we're going to look. Obviously, we have this storm coming into downtown now. We have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 8:45, and then we have another storm back here that has that's very healthy, that it's gotten its act together, and the Weather Service is noting that they may need to issue a warning on it as well. We'll have to see, but it looks like our storm over downtown actually showing a pretty healthy microburst signature there in northwest part of Nashville. So really could get some pretty gnarly winds in downtown here very shortly. Excuse me. We'll just have to see. But the big story here so far, at least what we can see, is the lightning, which is very, very vivid. But could now be some very strong winds come in as well to downtown. Getting a report from somebody at the Sounds Stadium that the power is out at the baseball stadium. So that's a new development. And I'm looking here on the Midtown camera, and I can't see the reflection from the ballpark anymore. So entirely possible, according to a report here I just got, that the power is out at the stadium, or at least the lights are out. So that's no good. But certainly with the lightning we've had, that is entirely possible. All right, we're going to check in on this once again, what could be a microburst signature over downtown. I'm going to check on a separate radar here. And again, I just want you to see the lightning show, and not just for the entertainment value, but I want you to be able to see that it truly is dangerous to be out. And so looking here on the Midtown camera, let's go over to radar. We do have a new radar image. Looks like the camera's updating there. So we'll jump over to radar for a second. Still very strong there in downtown. Lightning just everywhere. I mean, all these white dots are cloud to ground lightning strikes. So very, very dangerous to be out. Let's go back again. Let's take a look at this storm back over Cheatham County. And once again, looks like there could be some hail with that one. Could be a little bit of a microburst signature there with it. So it's looking pretty healthy too. We're just going to have to see how it progresses. It could go just to the south of where this one in downtown went. But honestly, it's right on its heels. So it might go down a little bit more toward 440 or a little to the south toward Oak Hill. Man, I'm showing lightning strikes even down here. And this, I don't know, this could be an error. It may not. But I'm seeing lightning strikes from this storm even as far as Oak Hill and over into Belmead and Forest Hills. I mean, that truly is remarkable. Even down toward Radnor Lake. That truly is remarkable. So if that indeed is happening, this storm in Nashville is really a mess. Truly capable of some dangerous stuff. All right, we are not seeing any rotation. I'm looking at the radar here. I'm not seeing any rotation. So some of you have asked about that. We're not seeing rotation on radar. I'm over here looking at radar off screen, and we are seeing some microburst signatures with some strong gusty winds, but we are not seeing rotation. Let me check over here and see what David is saying over on Twitter. And of course, he's talking to. He's saying that the. He's given timings there to B and A for the severe storm, and then also he's talking about some of the lightning and what's going on downtown. All right, so let's go back to radar just a second. Check in there, and we're showing lightning all the way down the 65 corridor through 12 South and Sevier Park. I don't know if you can see this on your screen, but we're seeing white dots way outside the rain on this thing. So we're showing lightning out here around Lipscomb University up toward Woodmont Boulevard. And, the closest rain is up to Trevecca and up to downtown Nashville. So if lightning truly is striking way out there around 440 and Lipscomb University, and I'm even seeing white dots down here at Radnor Lake and Bellmead and Forest Hills, this is a pretty remarkable storm and is worth respecting, and it's nowhere near over with in downtown. So severe thunderstorm warning continues in Davidson County. This is till 8:45. Not impossible that we'd get another warning. Could get another warning up for a storm west of here, up in Ashland City or up in Cheatham County. And that storm is right on the heels of the one coming into Davidson, or that is in Nashville, Davidson County right now. And we'll just have to see how it holds together right on the heels of this one that's coming through town now. So those of you that are at the venues outside, just know that it could be a minute. So lightning doesn't look quite as prolific with the second storm back there around Cheatham County. Still quite a bit of lightning with it, but it's hard to compare to the one coming through Nashville right now. Truly is amazing. So Will's over tweeting lightning video from our Midtown camera. He's over there tweeting that now there. So be sure you're keeping up with Twitter, and if you're on our YouTube live here, you're keeping up with us here, but also keep up with us over there on Twitter. Make sure I'm not missing anything, and that David and Will are over there tweeting. Will is also especially watching for your reports, seeing what's coming in on the T-Spotter feed. If you could tweet if you see damaging winds, if you see large hail, if you see something like that the Weather Service needs to know about, we would love for you to tweet using hashtag T-Spotter, and that goes into a special place, and we grab those, we send those into the Weather Service, and they get that message from you, and we send that over there to them. Weather Service just noted that the storm back to the west, so let's run back over to the radar here just a second. Storm back to the west. This is storm number 2 here that's entering Davidson County. It's over out around Scottsboro right now and over toward Old Hickory Boulevard that runs north-south there from Beeman Park down toward Scottsboro and Bells Bend. They're noting that storm is also impressive. It'll affect downtown over the next hour, so we're not out of the woods yet. And they note that it's possible they may have to warn that storm too. So it's a strong storm as well. All right, so our first warning here, this is the first warning. This is for severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County that is in effect till 8:45. So that's got to go a little bit longer here. We got a little while left with it. And that's till 8:45, and that's for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And some hail, possibly some penny-sized hail with that as well. So let's go back over and check on the Midtown camera, and still very heavy rain falling there in Midtown, looking off to the east. Looks like the rain may have slackened up just a little bit there. Maybe not quite as heavy, still pouring down, but maybe not quite as heavy as it was just a little bit ago. Lightning is still definitely a thing. Still seeing just a whole bunch of 0 to 5 minute lightning strikes on the screen here, which are the most recent ones. And there's just a ton of them. Just a ton of them. All right, I'm going to back out on the radar. Let's go back even further here. Somebody just reported over on Twitter, I was just looking over here, that they can confirm a few lightning strikes close to us near Radnor Lake. That is just truly remarkable. It really is. That a storm all the way up into Nashville was dropping lightning strikes out toward Radnor Lake. That's incredible. All right. So what we were doing, we were zooming out here. Here's your yellow polygon. That's our severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County. We got the second storm here, and that 2 right there that you can barely see probably, that doesn't mean it's the second storm. That means that the radar way up in the storm could be detecting hail up to 2 inches in diameter. Now, that's not reaching the ground, but that's what that 2 is. It doesn't mean it's the second storm. And so then back to the west, it looks like the other storms up here in Robertson County, and they may not make it quite as far as downtown, but we got to watch them anyway. Those are up there in Robertson. Those are not severe. They're not warned, but a couple of strong storms up there in western Robertson County, just south of Adams and around Cedar Hill. Still pouring down rain. Here's the rain now in Midtown and the lightning. So probably pretty breezy. For this camera to get wet, it takes a little bit of a wind. And so still some very bright lightning and some probably some wind blowing there, right there around the camera. It looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning just came out. This is for Davidson and Williamson. And let me show you that one. So we now have 2 polygons. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson, and now a second polygon is now clipping northern Williamson County. All right, so this is a second polygon that was just drawn for the second storm. All right, so here's the second storm that has not yet gotten to Nashville yet, downtown Nashville. So here's storm number 2, and this is the polygon for it as it moves to the southeast. As we said, it looks to be just tracking just to the south of the other storm and will impact areas further south, like Forest Hills, Brentwood, and maybe on into Nolensville here a little bit later. So that's for the second storm, and this one is in effect until 9 o'clock. Now, both polygons, both warnings include all of downtown Nashville. All right, so downtown Nashville is now under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9 o'clock, unless that gets revised here a little bit later. So we got another 35 minutes on warnings for downtown Nashville. So the first one expires at 8:45, but we got another one that's going to be in effect until 9. Okay, so another 35 minutes on these warnings for downtown Nashville. So this warning is in effect. You're looking at the Midtown camera again as the rain continues there. This is a storm that is, or a warning that's in effect for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Could be some 1-inch in diameter quarter-size hail with that storm as it moves into Bells Bend now. And I'll be moving into downtown here in just a little bit over the next 20, 30 minutes. All right, so we got a mess. We got a mess out there tonight. We've got a lot of events going on. And David's over there tweeting some of the time lapses and some of the ETAs for downtown. And he's over there tweeting that over on our Twitter feed. And yeah, y'all are talking about a tornado concern. We're not seeing a tornado concern. There were some questions on Twitter about that. We're not seeing that right now. We don't really see any evidence of rotation. The stuff we see here is more of a microburst signature. That's a classic textbook, sort of a microburst signature when you see those. In fact, we saw it even more clearly over here in northwest. Oh, that'd be northwest, northwest of downtown just a little bit ago. That's a classic microburst signature, which can deliver some pretty strong winds to the ground. All right, still a lot of lightning around downtown. The core of the storm now, the first storm looks to be right around Shelby Park, Trevecca, and down just to the southeast, right there around that kind of strange 2440 interchange there on the southeast side of town near B&A. So that looks to be where the core of that storm is now, the first one. But there's still a lot of lightning there. A lot of lightning around the old Greer Stadium up there around the interstate loop, and where 65 meets that just north of Wedgwood. Still just a ton of lightning with that. First storm as it moves on down to the southeast right toward B&A. Right toward B&A. Here's your second storm. Second storm's not to downtown Nashville yet. And I'm checking over here to make sure I'm not... Well, there's all kinds of stuff coming in really fast. A lot of reports, a lot of videos, and making sure I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, it looks like we're caught up. All right. Let's go over to the Midtown camera. Still watching the lightning. Lightning's a little further away, it looks like, from this camera than it was just a little bit ago. I mean, a little bit ago it was striking just, right between this camera and downtown. And now it looks like it's just to the kind of the southeast of downtown is where we're seeing most of the lightning over there. It looks like the Weather Service has revised the severe thunderstorm warning. The first one that came out still includes downtown. It's for this first cell, and that's still in effect till 8:45. That's this first polygon right here. So that's the first one there. So that one's still in effect till 8:45. The new one, the second storm, this polygon here that goes all the way down to Nolensville, all the way over to Percy Priest Lake, and still includes downtown Nashville. This is for a second storm here that's moving to the southeast. All right, so if you're at a venue, if you're outside, I hope you're not still outside. I'm sure the thunder was just crazy down there, how loud that was. If you were in downtown Nashville, stay inside. We got another storm coming. The lightning doesn't, at the moment, look to be as crazy as that first one. Still some strikes out there. I'm seeing 4, 5, 6 strikes in the last 5 minutes. So still quite a bit of lightning with it, but it looks a little more manageable than the one that just came through, or the one that's still coming through now. It looks like the majority of the lightning now on that first storm is right around Glencliff, right just north of the zoo, up there around the CSX rail yard there, just north of that. The Antioch Pike where it comes into Nolensville Road. Just, again, a ton of lightning right around Southern Hills Hospital. A lot of lightning there as well, and even on down into Brentwood. And let's see how far the lightning stretches. We're seeing lightning indicated way on out to the corner of Granny White Pike, right there at Brentwood High School. So if this is correct, which it seems like earlier we were seeing that people were confirming lightning way out, if this is right, this thing is tossing lightning out to Brentwood High School and Brentwood Middle School, way on out of this storm. So it definitely needs to be taken seriously. All right, so the Weather Service is noting about the second storm. They've issued this warning for the second storm as well, and it's pretty healthy, and it looks like it's going to move a little further south than the first one, but also impact the downtown area with high winds, small hail, and frequent lightning potential there. So the Weather Service is talking about the second storm that they issued the warning on tonight. All right. We're getting a lot of video from Nissan Stadium, some video from the baseball field, and it just looks like a mess. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, man, I know you are looking forward to a fun night. Maybe it still will be, but we got to deal with this for a little while. All right. So let's go back over to Midtown. You know, things look a little better than they did just a little bit ago, I got to admit. And actually, I'm seeing what looks to be maybe some lights from the ball field down there on the left near the building that's in the view on the left side of the screen there. Just to the right of that, you see the lights from the ball field. So just maybe they've got the lights back on. So that's good. Hated to hear that power outage a little bit ago. So still some lightning in the distance there, and then lightning behind this camera. Well, still some, I don't know. The lightning still looks pretty close. All right, well, let's go back over to radar, see what we got. Okay, we got 2 storms. I tell you what, let me just look at this note from the Weather Service, because they're talking about 2 microbursts. We need to pay attention to that. They're seeing 2 microbursts on radar currently, one just west of the airport and the other one around Bells Bend. All right, let's go over to, let's just go here to the radar we're on. Yes, here's number 1. So here's B and A right here. This is the airport. There's the airport, and here's microburst number 1. So it looks like a microburst just formed right there around Thompson Place and Patricia Drive and Massman Drive. So Volte Boulevard, looks like there was a microburst right there just west of the airport. That could drop some pretty strong winds. We've seen damage from microbursts in the past week or so from these kinds of storms. So there's microburst number 1. Microburst number 2 looks to be over in the Bells Bend area. All right, so let's go over there. Here's microburst number 2 right here. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to go over here and look at another radar as well. I pull this up. This is TB&A. And it looks like, it looks like Bells Bend got some strong winds. Looks like really the strongest winds look to be right around Sylvan Park, White Bridge, St. Thomas Hospital, St. Thomas West, and over there around Woodmont Boulevard, Elmington Park. Looks like some pretty gusty winds there. Could be 40, 50 miles per hour just past the Nations. And, yeah, power flickering in Hillwood. I don't doubt that at all. You got some pretty strong wind. Looks like that just came through there. I just saw a report over on T-Spotter about some power flickering in Hillwood. So that would make sense with the some of that strong wind going through there just a second ago. It looks like it's right on top of St. Thomas West Hospital, that area right now. That looks to be where the strongest winds are, at least indicated on TBNA. Let's go back over to the Weather Service radar, and let's see kind of where this storm's headed. Let's back it up a little bit. And you can kind of see this thing's, the second one here is diving a little bit further south. So, yeah, downtown Nashville, you're still going to get it. Looks like you're still going to get, especially the parts of the storm that are over Bordeaux, Metro Center. Yeah, it's going to start pouring down rain in downtown Nashville again here in just a little bit. It looks like the core of this storm, so, like, could I say maybe the heaviest rain and maybe the hail threat probably will go just southwest of downtown Nashville. So maybe the downtown loop down to the south and southwest. So that's the difference in these two storms. The first one kind of barreled right through downtown and to the north a little bit. The second one looks like it's going to ride just a little bit to the south of that. So the main core of it may go down through the 440 area, down through Green Hills and Oak Hill and like the Harding Place exit on 65. So slightly to the south is what it looks like on this second storm. The first one is now over B&A, Glencliff, Southern Hills Hospital, approaching the Nashboro Golf Club, and heading toward Percy Priest Lake. Hermitage getting a lot of rain too. All right, so let's sort of talk about our warnings here. I know it looks a little bit confusing. We've got some overlapping warnings, so let's talk about this real quick. We got two warnings out. The first one was issued first, and it is in effect until 8:45. That includes downtown Nashville, down to Antioch, Percy Priest Lake, and all the way up to Hermitage and Madison. That was for the first storm that we had a little bit ago. That's in effect till 8:45, so about another, 6-7 minutes, something like that. Well, almost 10 minutes now, if I can do math. So about another 10 minutes it's in effect. The second storm caused another severe thunderstorm warning. All right, that's a much larger warning. It's for a newer storm, and that covers from Bells Bend down to Brentwood and Creve Hall, Antioch, all the way down to Nolensville, but it also includes downtown Nashville and Percy Priest Lake. All right, so we still got a ways to go with these storms. So that's until 9 o'clock, I believe. All right, let's go back over to velocities, and let's check out these microburst signatures. And yeah, still seeing pretty distinct microburst signatures around Westmead, Hillwood, Whitebridge, all the way up to Urbandale Nation, St. Thomas Hospital West, Woodmont Boulevard, and Belmead. So looks like we got some dime-size hail over there in Whitebridge. That's going to be right here. So it looks like some dime-size hail is a part of that storm. And that would make sense. Radar thinks there is a hail threat with it, so dime-size hail there in Whitebridge makes sense. All right, so around the Charlotte Pike exit, lightning really picking up with this storm as well. All right, so it didn't have quite as much lightning with it just a little bit ago. It's really pumping out the lightning now there on the near the Charlotte Pike exit, Hillwood, and over toward Westmead, Oak Haven, St. Thomas, Woodmont, Belmead, all those areas. So it's starting to really put out the lightning there in the west of downtown, down the interstate, down I-40 there around Charlotte Pike. First storm continues to push through the southeastern parts of Davidson County. That's going to be around B&A, down toward the northern parts of Antioch, out toward Percy Priest Lake, and all the way up to Hermitage. So that's the first storm. I know they kind of look like they're kind of coming together a little bit. This is storm number 1 that's heading out, hopefully. This is storm number 2 that appears to be the most noisy out around Charlotte Pike, down I-40. That's storm number 2. Somebody asked over on Twitter if the second one is going to hit Franklin or stay north of it. It'll probably stay north of it, but if it does what the other one does, it could definitely throw some lightning out toward Franklin. So if you look down here, here's Franklin here, not included in the severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like this is going to be more of a Brentwood problem, a Creve Hall Brentwood problem. Well, it could easily toss lightning down to the south toward Cool Springs and Franklin. All right, so the Weather Service says they probably will let the first severe thunderstorm warning expire, and both storms will then be a part of the second polygon. All right, so that's probably what they're going to do. Let's go back over here to TBNA and look at this area of wind. So it looks like we got some 35 to 45 mile per hour winds. The Weather Service is noting over here on TBNA. This is right around Lipscomb University, Green Hills Mall, Woodmont Boulevard, and over in that area. And the poor folks over there, it seems like every couple of years they get a good windstorm. Hopefully this is not it. But it looks like, but over there it seems like we get some pretty easy tree damage. A lot of old trees over there around those houses up and down Hillsborough Road and off to the left and right of that. Up there in 12 South, Belmont, Sevier Park, Lipscomb University area. So hopefully no tree problems there, but they're no stranger to windstorms over there in that neighborhood. Hopefully this is not that kind of thing, but it looks like radar's indicating about 40 mile per hour winds coming through there, and that's moving east. So looks over toward Berry Hill. It's kind of where that's headed, over toward the Hundred Oaks area and like the Harding Place exit there at I-65. Creve Hall neighborhood, another place that doesn't handle windstorms really well as far as the trees go and power outages. But right now it looks like those strong gusty winds up to about, radar's indicating 40, could be 45 over there, stretching from Tyne Boulevard up to around Belmont. And that's what TBNA is showing right there in that green area. The brighter the green, stronger the wind. Let's go back over to our radar here, and yeah, still quite a bit of lightning here on the southwest side of Nashville over toward Westmead, Eagle Ridge, 9 Mile Hill, Belmead, Woodmont Boulevard, St. Thomas Hospital. Still quite a bit of lightning over there. And the first storm, man, it just continues to crank out the lightning over there around Seven Oaks, right there around Antioch Pike. As it goes out, kind of parallels I-24 there, going down to Antioch. Just a bunch of lightning. Yeah, David is noting something important over on Twitter, and the Weather Service actually noted this just a second ago in their notes. They said that there aren't any tornado concerns with these storms. They look a little tornado-y. If you just kind of know enough about radar to look at them and go, oh man, that kind of has a little hook on it. Well, it may look supercellular, but don't have any real tornado concerns with these. David's mentioning that over there on the Twitter, on the tweeter. So he says they can look similar to tornado makers, but these are not those. All right, let's look at the kind of what's going on downtown. Still some lightning downtown. I know this is kind of hard to see maybe on a small screen. Still getting some lightning strikes right there across from Nissan Stadium, really just there in East Nashville, right over the river. So still getting some lightning over there. Not out of the woods there in downtown around the ballpark, but not nearly as much lightning as there was, but still getting some strikes out of there, cloud to ground strikes in downtown and East Nashville. The heaviest concentration of lightning now looks to be just west of Belmead, between Belmead and I-40, kind of over near, Westmead. Westmead, that's where the most lightning is now. And then on the east storm, it's over there around Antioch Pike and Harding Place. So like right there around that, the Sam's, and where you can turn north to go up to the airport there on Donaldson Pike. That's kind of where the strongest wind is there. Looks like the Weather Service is continuing. They're editing a warning a little bit. Looks like they're shoring up this southern warning here, the second one, and they're continuing the warning till 9 o'clock for 60 mile per hour winds and the possibility of some hail. All right, so we still have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, but they look a little different from each other. One's to the north just a little bit. One's to the south a little bit. And it's for 2 separate storms. So storm number 1 expires in 2 minutes, but the storm will still be considered severe because it will be inside the second polygon. And so both storms will still be included in a severe thunderstorm warning polygon. I know that's confusing. Sorry about that, but one of these boxes will disappear in about a minute or two. All right, so that will leave a severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect until 9. So at the moment, 9 o'clock, about another 15 minutes will be when our severe thunderstorm warnings expire if they don't get extended or reissued. So we'll keep an eye out for that. It looks like a lightning strike tossed out right around the Brentwood Library. So, and actually, I think I hear thunder outside, and I'm pretty far south, so that may be real. And so that's a lightning strike that just got tossed out toward like the WSM Tower and the Brentwood Library, I-65 and Concord Road. That's pretty far south. All right, let's go back to the Midtown camera. Let's see what's going on downtown. And still looks like it's raining pretty good. And right before that, right before we switched there, you saw the first polygon drop. So the first severe thunderstorm warning expired. We still got one in effect till 9. So really didn't change much, but still some lightning, still seeing some lightning there in Midtown, looking to the east toward downtown, and still some pretty heavy rain. So these storms are still very charged. Radar indicating some hail down around Forest Hills. And so yeah, looking over here at some of our feeds. Man, we're just getting a ton of video. So once again, somebody asked the question once again over on Twitter, is there a tornado possibility? We're really not seeing indications of tornadoes with these storms. These are severe thunderstorms that are capable of producing some strong gusty winds, and actually a pretty good example of that over here, right around Green Hills Mall, Lipscomb University. It looks like there's a microburst centered right there on Harding Place, between Belmead and Hillsborough Road. A pretty decent looking microburst there. So you got winds going toward the radar and away from the radar. So the wind is going out in all directions, but because radar only reads toward and away, that's all we can see right here on the radar. So these are winds going toward the radar, winds going away from the radar, and so a microburst kind of centered right here. So you can expect some really strong winds, potentially right there around Harding Place, right there around Hemingway Drive, Hobbs Road, some of those areas, and quite a bit of lightning dropping there as well. Could be some pretty gusty winds. Let's go over to TBNA, check out that as well. Let me pull up TBNA. Here it is, just kind of a different radar presentation. And still seeing those gusty winds out there around 100 Oaks, about said 100 Oaks Mall. So if you've been around Nashville a while, you'd call it 100 Oaks Mall. But of course, Vanderbilt's there moved in to what used to be the mall there. The zoo, down to Harding Place, Creve Hall. And that looks to be where the strong gusty winds are there. And yeah, seeing evidence of maybe a microburst there around Woodmont and down into Belmead. Looking at the Twitter feed again. Yeah, okay, just checking for some updates here. Yeah, seeing evidence of a microburst there, as we were talking about just a second ago. All right, let's go back to the Weather Service radar, and here's very clearly that presentation of a microburst. Some pretty strong winds there possible in Green Hills. Let's go over to check out that east storm. So the eastern storm, still dropping quite a bit of lightning. Maybe not as much as it was a little bit ago. This is the first storm that impacted downtown. This is over around the Nashboro Golf Club. This is over around Smith Springs Road and impacting areas like that over along the south side or the west side of Percy Priest Lake. Still quite a bit of lightning there. Maybe not quite as much as there was in downtown just a little bit ago. Looks like a new flood advisory. That's going to be for Robertson County. So that does not include us. I'm going to check out a tweet somebody sent us with evidence of a microburst up around Harding Place. I'm going to check that out and see what that shows. Yeah, it looks like some gusty winds up there around Harding and Hillsborough, which we were just talking about just a second ago. All right, so you're looking at radar here, and let me kind of back up and show you kind of how this evolved. All right, so storms came in from the northwest, right there out of view. That's Cheatham County and Montgomery County up there. Storms moved to the southeast. We had some warnings start to get issued. Severe thunderstorm warning got issued well in advance of the storm for downtown, and as that pushed right through downtown, we had a second storm that moved into Davidson County. And that storm also prompted a severe thunderstorm warning as well. And both of them now have kind of merged. And there's one polygon out for about another 10 minutes for these. Okay. So that's kind of how this has evolved. If you're just joining us and wondering what in the world's going on, you're hearing a lot of thunder. That is kind of how this has gone. There is a... Man, look at this. We got more coming, all right? So it looks like more storms now forming up to the northwest. These are up in Kentucky. As we move those off to the southeast, it looks like we got another little bit of storms coming in from Clarksville. And for these storms up in western Kentucky, moving into Stewart County and Henry County there in Tennessee. So we'll see if those make their way our direction. We don't really know yet. All right, TBNA here. We're looking at TBNA right around Radnor Lake, and it's possible that with this storm, we have, and we'll see if this holds for another frame, but we could see winds up here above 60 mile per hour around Radnor Lake. Right there around, this is Franklin Road here that goes from, this goes from downtown Nashville down to the south, kind of parallels I-65, and right there on Radnor Lake, it looks like there's a very impressive microburst there over Radnor Lake in Oak Hill. So you got, as you come north of Brentwood on Franklin Road and I-65, you've got sort of the neighborhoods off to the left there on the hills. And then you've got the several churches right there along Franklin Road. And could be some very strong winds there, right there around Radnor Lake. All right. So again, an area that has a lot of tall trees, and that's holding for another frame. So likely some very strong winds now. 65 mile per hour winds showing here, right through on the northeast side of Radnor Lake. Let me turn the radar off a second. And actually, it's off the lake up here in the paths and the hiking trails. At least what radar is indicating. It could be offset some, but it looks like right here in the Radnor Lake Park, up in the tops of the hills here, some very strong 65 mile per hour winds. So likely tree damage with that as it pushes over toward Franklin Road here in the next minute or so. So the neighborhoods right there along Brentview Drive, Tyne Boulevard. You got like Judson Baptist Church that sits up there, and FRA's a little bit further north. You got like the Brentwood Hills Church down here on Franklin Road, just kind of give you some landmarks that you pass driving up and down Franklin Road. Quite a bit of wind about to cross Franklin Road. Now, I'll tell you, I am pretty far south of these storms. I'm pretty far south of these, and I'm hearing some pretty close lightning strikes. All right, so again, they're tossing lightning way on out to the south of these storms. All right, so the wind has crossed Franklin Road now, and this is right around Farrell Road, Brentview Drive, Hogan Road, over toward the baseball park there, right around or the Creve Hall Little League Park there, right there on Regent Drive, Berrywood Drive. That's Dovecote, Creve Road. That's right where the strongest winds are crossing. And again, this isn't an area that, I'll be totally honest with you, I grew up in this area. It doesn't handle windstorms well. There are a lot of big old trees that have been there for 50, 60 years or longer. And those things, they just tend to come down. So this area here doesn't handle that really well. Let me go over and pull up the Nippers Corner camera. Yeah, this is the Nippers Corner camera. This is looking right into that, okay? So we're going to see if we see any power flashes or anything like that, but we're looking directly at that area of wind that's pushing through Creve Hall. And going to be a little bit hard to tell what's a lightning strike and what is a power flash. But stuff that's based on the ground, if you see flashes on the ground, that's going to be a power flash. And you may even see some of those lights go dim there that are reflecting there off the rain. But this is in Nippers Corner looking off to the north. And this is looking directly at the Creve Hall neighborhood. And so we'll see how that evolves over just a little bit. So I'll let you look at that. Let me kind of go out ahead of the winds here. If you live along Edmondson Pike, Ellington Agriculture Center, over in that area, you could get some really strong gusty winds here in just a little bit. That could easily bring down trees, power lines, stuff like that. So Briarwood Drive, Hogan Road, Ellington Agriculture Center, Oakley Drive, and Blackman Road, those areas and that whole neighborhood over there could see some strong gusty winds. Now, they may have subsided just a little bit, but boy, they were awfully strong on the other side of Franklin Road, as indicated on radar, and they still could be very strong now. Looks like the Weather Service is going to reissue the severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson here soon, so our severe thunderstorm warnings will go beyond 9 o'clock, it looks like. Looks like they're going to extend that warning here in just a little bit. So let me show you. This is TBNA. We're looking at the bright greens here. Now let me back up just a little bit, and you see those blues. The blues are 60, 65 mile per hour winds that are moving over to the east, and those look like they may have relaxed just a little bit. But then here on the Nippers Corner camera, I can see some trees blowing pretty good there on the bottom. So it may be hard for you to see there on your phone or however you're watching this, but it looks like some the trees they're blowing pretty good. Definitely not blowing 60, 65, but they might be here very shortly as some pretty strong gusty winds. They're easily blowing 40, I think, by looking at those trees. Yeah, that's some pretty strong wind. So you're going to see the rain might obscure our view there on the window, but for sure, some strong gusty winds approaching Nippers Corner. Hey, we appreciate your reports. We appreciate things that you're sending in. If you want to hashtag T-Spotter, send us a video, a picture, something like that of severe weather that you can take safely. We don't want you doing anything unsafe. Please don't do that. That sort of negates the whole reason we're doing any of this. And so please don't do anything that's unsafe. We want you to be inside, but if you want to send us a picture of something that you see outside after the storm's passed, or something that you think the Weather Service needs to know about. Maybe you're looking at some large hail. Maybe you're looking at some wind damage, especially given what we're seeing coming through Creve Hall right now over toward Edmondson and Nolensville roads. Maybe you're seeing something like that. Maybe you're seeing some street flooding. Just tweet and use hashtag T-Spotter in your tweet. If you'd like to include a picture that you took safely, that'd be great. But let us know your location and some pertinent info there, and we'll get that over to the Weather Service. All right, and we're seeing, we're just seeing a ton of pictures. Y'all are sending in some great stuff, but again, please be safe. All right, severe thunderstorm warning just came out. That's going to be till 9:30, so we got another 30 minutes here on a warning. That's going to be for Davidson, Rutherford, and Williamson. So let me back out here on the radar and show that to you. There we go. Wow, that was an amazing lightning strike just there on the camera. All right, so looks like Brentwood and down to the southeast. That's basically where this warning is going to be in effect for. So it looks like that covers from Oak Hill, Brentwood, down through Nolensville, all the way down toward Page High School. And that's also going to include areas like Triune, McCandless Road, Burke Hollow, Nolensville. The 31A, 41A split is kind of down there on the southeastern extent of it. All right, so that's for this storm here around Brentwood. And that's not going to be a good ETA map there. But basically, it's for a storm there that's producing possibly 60 mile per hour winds and some hail. So that expires at 9:30. Let's go back over to the Nippers Corner camera. This is right in the middle of it right now. They're getting a bunch of rain and quite a bit of wind as it pushes through the Nippers Corner area. So could easily have some power outages over there. And we'll check on that here in just a little bit. And in fact, I may, while we are looking at the Nippers Corner camera here, I may pull up and you just see a bunch of rain hitting the window there where this is. See if we can check out some Some NES outages. Looks like we got about 4,600 people without power. Just looking over there at the NES map off screen there. All right, so you're looking at Nippers Corner, looking off to the north. Alrighty, let's see. You're looking at Nippers Corner. Let's go back over to radar real quick. In fact, let's go over to this radar here. There we go. All right, a little bit easier to see. So one polygon just disappeared. So we're down to one polygon here. That's for a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. That's in effect till 9:30. All right, so it looks like things downtown, at least temporarily, look a little bit better. But off to the north and off to the west, it looks like we have some more storms forming. In fact, this little appendage from this storm back to the south just has formed in the past few minutes, meaning that it looks like there's going to be more rain for downtown. So, man, oh man, looks like it's just going to keep coming in waves here for a little bit. And looking over here at David's tweets, he's just mentioning the new warning that's come out there for Brentwood. And it looks like the Nashville Airport recorded a peak wind gust of 42 miles per hour. So definitely got some gusty winds there. Alrighty. So this storm here, let's check on the wind velocities. Definitely looks like there's some strong winds here, probably around Brentwood, as this storm kind of barrels to the south. And let's see if we can get a couple of cameras out of Brentwood, shall we? Let's try, I'm going to try Church Street and Wilson Pike. Nope, that one's not available. Let's try Franklin Road at Brentwood Place. Let me try another camera for us. Yeah, I'm not having any luck on any cameras out of Brentwood. I'll let you know if I do, but could be some strong winds there. So it looks like strongest winds now could be around kind of the Publix and Kroger area. They're on the southeast side of the storm. So yeah, you can kind of see some gusty winds here. It doesn't look like anything just remarkably crazy because they're moving pretty well right at the radar, but it looks like there could be some 25, 30 mile per hour winds there moving around Holt Road and Nolensville Road, Concord Road and Nolensville, where the Publix and the Kroger and all that is there. Pettis and Old Hickory over in the Cane Ridge area. Just some gusty winds there, but it doesn't look like radar's not indicating anything that would be severe at the moment. And that's good. That's a good thing. All right, let's go back to our regular radar view here. This is going to be for show you the rain. And it looks a little bit like looks like this storm may be trying to lose a little bit of intensity. Let's see. Let's look up in the storm here. Now, it's still got a pretty good core with it right there around Brentwood. Now, we're looking way up in the storm, looking at about 18,000 feet here. Still got a pretty good core there. But, it would be kind of nice if maybe this thing would lose a little bit of intensity. So maybe not there on the south side of the storm. Looks like it's still kind of keeping its act together. But the Weather Service actually notes, I was just looking up here at their notes, they actually say that the one in the latest warning has started weakening. So it looks like some damaging winds still possible with hail and a lot of lightning. So let's hope this thing weakens. That would be great. And then we can sort of at least get a little bit of a break in the severe weather before we have to look back up to our west and north, as there could be some other storms making their way toward our area here a little bit later. So you can see another round of storms coming in from western Kentucky. So we got to watch this stuff around Dover and Stewart County, up here in Robertson County, Henry County. Those storms slide southeast. We could deal with them here after a while, but definitely doesn't look like we're out of the woods as far as rain there in downtown. All righty. Yeah, you know, this storm here definitely looks like it's losing some of its punch. This is the one around Antioch, Nolensville, Brentwood. Doesn't look as strong as it was a little bit ago, but it does still have a pretty decent core. Again, we're looking up at about 18,000 feet here, 18,500, and that's a lot of water sitting up there. That's a big old water balloon there. And if you go back in time, you can kind of see how it's evolved. Now, it's a little smaller than it was. So this was it as it moves southeast. So, it's not as big as it was, but that's a lot of water sitting up there to come down. But it looks like at the surface, it's starting to kind of lose some of its punch. And let's really hope it does. Let's hope it does. All right, let's go kind of do a little bit of a tour here. I want to see on the Midtown camera if there's any lightning that we're able to see on the left side. This would be for the storms that are north of town and then coming into downtown from the northwest. So let's look to the left side of the camera here, and this will show whether there's any lightning as a part of that storm. So may not be raining much down there right now, but it looks like we're going to get a little bit more. Weather Service is noting the area of thunderstorms entering northwest Middle Tennessee we were looking at just a little bit ago. That looks to be a Nashville thing around 10:45 to 11, but it looks like there's some more storms coming in before that. So looks like more of a heavy rain instead of a severe event, maybe a little bit later. So we may be dealing with a flash flood threat as time goes on, more so than a severe thunderstorm threat. That's not necessarily better. Flooding, as we know around here, is no good. All right, so that's the Midtown camera you're looking at there. Let's go back over to radar here, and I'll show you. So they're talking about these storms off to the northwest. These are heavy rain producers, so this could transition us more toward a flash flooding threat as these push in and less to a severe thunderstorm threat. We'll just have to see. But still watching this storm. We still got one severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and that's for northeastern Williamson County and southeastern Davidson County. That includes Nolensville. Nolensville's kind of bullseye right in the middle of this thing as it pushes to the southeast. So those of you that live on the north side of Nolensville are getting some of the rain now, maybe some wind. Doesn't look like the wind, let me check another radar here. Doesn't look like the wind is especially strong, but there is still an area here. Let me go back over to TB&A because we still get these areas, a little bit of enhanced wind. So there was another little microburst. Another microburst happened about 2 minutes ago. That was right there around Woodfield Drive, Sherbrooke Lane. That's Holt Road. I'm trying to remember the names of those subdivisions. But anyway, there's some subdivisions there on the north side of Holt Road, kind of across from Redmond Lane. And it looks like there was maybe some pretty gusty winds there, maybe on the order of 40 miles per hour. And it looks like that is spreading out there across Nolensville Road and over into the, that's Ridgeton Mill Drive. And let's see, a couple of the other roads, Heaton Way. Just a couple of subdivisions over there, Sunnywood Drive on the east side of Nolensville Road toward Cane Ridge. So here's the Holt-Nolensville Road intersection. Could be some gusty winds there. 30 to 40 miles per hour looks like is what radar is indicating. And Weather Service is already looking off to the northwest, and they're saying there's some pretty strong gusty velocities coming in. Let's go look at those on that storm off to the northwest. So we've been up here northwest of Stewart County. It's pretty high up in the storm, but about 7,500 feet, we're looking at some pretty high velocity wind coming into Stewart County up there. So we may not be completely out of the woods as far as severe thunderstorms go, unfortunately. Another warning back there in eastern Arkansas. Looks like it's got a tornado warning with it. That's back there in far eastern Arkansas, west of the Mississippi River. That's not anywhere close to us. Nowhere remotely close to us. All right, so our storm in southeastern Davidson County, still dropping some occasional small microbursts, it looks like. And I'm looking at those over on a different radar and making sure nothing gets up in the 60 mile per hour range. It's pretty close to the radar site, which is a good thing because we get a good sampling of the winds. And so we can tell pretty easily what's reaching the surface and what the winds are down that low to the surface. So that's on this radar here. This is TB&A. TB&A is located in the backyards of the folks that live over in like the Burkett Place subdivision. And those folks over there, that radar sits right in their backyards over there. And that's an FAA radar. It belongs to the FAA, and it's primarily used. It's a great radar for measuring wind velocities. They use that at the airport to help determine velocity of winds for inbound, outbound aircraft. So it's great at reading winds. And that's what we see here. It's getting a really good read on these winds coming into the north part of Nolensville. David's over on Twitter. He's talking about the storms coming in later also. He's doing some screenshots of radar over there. If you'd like to join over on Twitter as well and make sure that you can see pictures that you're looking for of radar and getting some ETAs for some storms off to our northwest. So if you missed that just a second ago and you want a still image that you can just pull up and see some ETAs, he's got that over on Twitter right now. We're seeing a report, an unconfirmed report, that there is some tree debris in the road up north of Old Hickory Boulevard on I-65. That would be very close to where we saw those strong winds earlier. So south of the Harding Place exit, north of here's Old Hickory Boulevard here. Here's Harding Place. This is the kind of the Creve Hall area. There's a bunch of, apparently, somebody, an unconfirmed report here from somebody traveling there between Old Hickory Boulevard and Harding Place. There is some tree debris in the road there on the interstate, or near the interstate. So that would be indicative of what we saw earlier. Let me back that up, see if our radar will go back. Yeah, right here. So probably some tree debris there, kind of right between Hogan Road. There's a bridge there, and Farrell Road, right there around those ballparks. That ballpark right there in Creve Hall. Pretty strong wind there, just a little bit ago. I'm going to actually check, and I'm going to do this off screen, okay? And I apologize for that. But I'm just going to check out the TDOT cameras. And if I find something, I'll definitely throw it over there. But you're looking at radar now, but let me get you a better radar picture. We're looking at winds down here in the Nolensville area. You want to be watching for blues to show up, okay? So this is like the Autumn Crossing subdivision there off of Nolensville Road, Concord Hills, rather. And this looks to be where the strongest wind is now, about 40 miles per hour. But let me pull up the cameras over here on a different screen, and we're going to look and see if we can see any indication of some tree debris in the road. Tough time getting that one to load. Looks like wind's not too bad there around North Nolensville. Maybe some 45-mile-per-hour winds there coming into the radar. Warning continues. Weather Service notes maybe some 45-mile-per-hour winds there right here where the cursor is. This is going to be on the north sides of Nolensville, right there around Burkett, right there around Pettis Road, especially some of the higher elevations. There's a ridge there on Pettis Road. Right when you come off of Nolensville, you drive up that ridge. And especially up there, could be some pretty strong gusty winds. Yeah, it looks like having a little trouble getting the camera to load there on TDOT, but word is there's maybe some tree debris up there in the interstate. And actually, looking at the traffic flow, looks like traffic flow might be pretty slow there on Franklin Road as well, which doesn't have many traffic lights. So could be maybe some tree debris in the road there as well on Franklin Road. Traffic's moving pretty slow according to the traffic mapper there on TDOT's website. Okay, let's go back over to radar. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. This is going to be until 9:30. All right, this is going to be till 9:30, about another 15 minutes or so. And over on the Weather Service radar, we're seeing another indication even of maybe a microburst forming there right in that same Pettis Road area, Culbertson Road. You got like the Hidden Creek subdivision there, Sunset Hills, Barnes Road, Oak Highlands, Concord, Nolensville, some of those areas. We just got these little microbursts that just kind of fall out of the storm. They can be pretty gusty. All right, so it looks like another one maybe formed there around that area. And it looks like the Weather Service has modified the warning a little bit. Let's back up and just kind of get an idea for that. How they're redrawing the polygon. Still includes southeastern Davidson County, northeastern Williamson. And again, that's still 9:30. Yeah, there's your new polygon there. Kind of see where the strongest winds are. This is according to the Weather Service radar. And TBNA, which I'm looking at on another screen, is showing basically the same thing. Showing maybe 45 mile per hour winds there on TBNA. So again, severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 9:30. There is no warning in effect for downtown. Downtown is not included in a severe thunderstorm warning. There are no warnings in effect for downtown Nashville. However, there is some more rain moving in. So let me back up the radar here a little bit. And you can see those warnings expire for downtown. But then more rain and more storms have formed there on the northwest side of downtown Nashville. So right there. In fact, I bet if we go over to the Midtown camera, I bet you can see that moving in. Yeah, you kind of got maybe a little shelf cloud moving in there on the left side. All right, so that's looks to be kind of what that is a nice little shelf cloud moving in. So that looks to be coming in from north to south across downtown. But boy, the lightning doesn't look quite as impressive as it did about an hour ago, does it? That was gnarly. All right, back over to the radar, and yeah, it looks like still indicating some gusty winds there. Possible microburst around Barnes Road and up toward Old Hickory Boulevard. This is kind of a somewhat rural area of Old Hickory Boulevard that runs through the Cane Ridge area. And could be some gusty winds there, as well as kind of down south of the storm near Forest Trail, kind of that road that comes off, neighborhood comes off Concord Road there near Nolensville. Also, maybe around Waller Road as well. They're on the south side of Concord Road. So could be some gusty winds there as well. I'm going to look at TBNA and... here we go, TBNA, and yeah, it's showing winds. I mean, it's right on the radar, 20, 30 miles per hour. Winds definitely impacting the radar there, but they don't look, they look maybe in the 30 to 40 range. Right on top of the radar site. New significant weather advisory. This is going to be for central Davidson County. So this is... going to be kind of a junior severe thunderstorm warning for central Davidson County. That's going to be for this storm up here. And let me see if I can get a polygon just so you're aware of that. And if it's not up yet, yeah, there it is. So it looks like we've got a significant weather advisory for, looks like it's going to be for this storm in, well, let me switch that over for you, in Robertson County and kind of moving to the southeast. All right. So inside this white polygon, looks like you could have winds in excess of 40 miles per hour with these storms and quite a bit of lightning, and that's for the storm in Robertson County moving to the southeast. All right. Yeah, it's I hate to tell you, it's not looking great. It's not looking great for the events downtown. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. What a mess. What a mess. But I'm glad. Hopefully, you guys took cover and were safe from those storms. I tell you, this storm down there to the south, around Nolensville, Laverne, and Smyrna. This thing has just fallen apart. Still some maybe gusty winds with it, but man, look at the reflectivities, sort of the traditional radar view here. Still tossing some lightning, but man, the thing seems to be falling apart. So that's good. Hopefully no gusty winds continue out of that. Hopefully they kind of stay sub-severe. That would be great, but the storm definitely seems to be coming down a little bit in intensity. Yeah, looking at TB&A, same thing. Maybe a small microburst there around Arlington Heights, Holt Road, Nolensville Road, Concord, Nolensville, Concord Forest. Maybe a small microburst there, but, not seeing anything too impressive there. Back over to traditional radar. And actually, Weather Service says they're watching some increasing velocities in that storm they just put the significant weather advisory on up in Robertson County. So it's like these velocities are getting stronger up here, and they may need to issue a warning on it if it continues to strengthen. I tell you what, I'm going to get a drink of water because long night on the voice here. Hang on just a second. All right. Well, this looks like it's kind of one of those long haul evenings here on YouTube Live. So thanks for being with us. And man, I tell you, it looks like we're getting pictures here now, actually, of what could be some damage over there around Tyne Boulevard, Franklin Road. Tyne Boulevard, power out there. So it looks like some trees did come down. I'm looking at sort of these replies that we're getting, and it looks like there was some wind damage there along Franklin Road toward Brentwood, and a tree falling near Tyne Boulevard. So that's and also microburst at Concord and Nolensville. So let's go back down there and look at that. Somebody's reporting the microburst there was indeed a deal there at Concord and Nolensville, and rain not really so heavy. So yeah, we're seeing that on radar as well. Go over to TB&A and seeing that microburst there. Yep, seeing that as well. So stay inside. Severe thunderstorm warning continues on this storm till this is in effect till 9:30. So about another 9 minutes or so. And the Weather Service is noting that even up here in the northern part of Davidson County, winds up in the 55 mile per hour range, up there around the Millersville area. Sorry, I'll get that out here in just a second. So around Millersville, there could be some strong gusty winds, about 55 miles per hour. And actually, those are increasing pretty rapidly. So up here in the northern part, around Bakers, around Luton's, around, let's see, there's Luton there, Freeman Hollow, Baker Hollow Road, Millersville. Could be some strong gusty winds coming there over the next little bit. I need to write something down real quick. So strong gusty winds moving down to the southeast. So significant weather advisory out there. Would not be surprised if they need to issue a warning on this as it moves southeast. And that would affect parts of Davidson County as well. But this severe thunderstorm warning down here still continues, although it looks like the storm has lost some punch, at least in the upper core of the storm. It looks like it has. Could drop some gusty winds here for a little bit longer, and the warning is still in effect for another few minutes, but it looks like the storm is really kind of losing its punch there. So we start to turn our attention back to the north for this storm in Robertson County. And it looks like they have gone ahead and issued the severe thunderstorm warning here for Stewart County, where we were looking at those gusty winds there a little bit earlier. And it looks like, yeah, up there in Stewart County, winds up to about 67, 70 miles per hour. Up there in Stewart County, that's up at about 5,500 feet. So they've issued a severe thunderstorm warning there. And that's generally aimed our direction, okay? So we're going to have to watch that as it comes down to the southeast over the next little bit. All right, so we're still watching this little bitty storm down here, right there on top of TB&A. That's right there on the right there in the Burkett Place subdivision, the Catalina subdivision, and Nolan Park, Stonebrook, Cane Ridge Park, areas like that. So that little storm down there is just being a little bit noisy, but it does look like it's falling apart. Weather Service is going to let that expire at the bottom of the hour. So at 9:30, that's going to go away. All right, so I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and jump off of here, and I'll tell you why. We may be dealing with some severe weather in a little bit. I'm going to take a break, get some water, and we're going to let this severe thunderstorm warning, they're going to let that expire at the bottom of the hour on a storm that's really falling apart there on the north side of Nolensville. moving on into Rutherford County in the next little bit. But we very well could have some additional severe thunderstorm warnings come up in a little bit. We're going to keep an eye on those, and we'll jump right back on YouTube Live when and if that happens. But you folks downtown, be safe as you're going to your cars, and just really be careful out there. Still some lightning in downtown, but we'll be back on if we need to be, if more warnings are issued. But again, severe thunderstorm warning will expire at 9:30 here in about 6 minutes for a teeny tiny, what's left of it, little storm around Nolensville, and could be some gusty winds with it. But we'll be back on here in just a little bit if we need to. But if we don't, just hope y'all have a good night. We'll talk to you later.